everybody. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. Hello. It's hour 3 of our 3-hour special high school football preview. I'm Jed Hickenbotham. That is Mr. Morgan Lee over there. He's more straight-laced than a University of Miami booster.
A lot of people are more straight-laced than a University of Miami booster.
Most everyone is, as a matter of fact. All right, well, let's get right to it. All right, we've been doing this for a couple hours now, an hour each week, and kind of talking to a whole bunch of different coaches around North Georgia, trying to put together the show that no one else is really doing, trying to get us ready all for the 2011 high school football season. Coming up this hour, we're going to be talking with North Hall head coach Bob Christmas, as well as Johnson head coach Paul Friel, West Hall head coach Mike Newton. But we'll start right now with what's got to be considered kind of the toast of North Georgia as far as football is concerned. Buford football has won 4 straight state titles, and we were able to sit down. Jess Simpson from his office, nice enough to talk with us about what to expect this coming year. Considering what this program has been able to accomplish over the last 4 seasons or so, and considering what your team returns this year, what's the build-up kind of been like for 2011?
You know what? It's been expectations are high, and expectations don't change here at Buford. Certainly, you know, we've been on a run and had some success where, you know, every team that dawns the next fall is, you know, expected to compete for a championship. So this team's not any different. Certainly we have a bunch of starters back on defense and quite a few linemen and fullbacks back on offense. So, you know, the core of our team returns. There's some big holes to fill, but, you know, expectations will be high again.
Coach, you know, obviously you know a little bit about the strengths you've got coming back. Talk a little bit about some of the questions that you feel like this team's got to answer.
Well, it probably starts with losing Alex Ross, you know, our quarterback. You know, Alex did a great job for us in 2 years and was a great leader, had great intangibles. We're looking for big things out of him at Coastal Carolina. But you know what? Sam Clay's had an unbelievable summer. He's our rising senior. He just committed to Georgia Tech as a big left-handed baseball player. He's a good pitcher, but Sam's very calm. He's calm, cool, and collected. You know, he's got a lot of intangibles. The ball comes out really, really hot out of his hand. I mean, he throws a great ball. Probably throws the deep ball as good as anybody. Just a lot of touch on the ball. You know what? And he's been in our system. He knows what's going on, and he's done a good job leading through the summer.
Your top 3 rushers from last year have all moved on, so who is really going to be carrying the load for 2011?
You know, right now, Andre Johnson and Darian Smith are the 2 backs that looks like are going to carry the biggest part of the load at the tailback position. C.J. Moore's a kid that we've worked all summer at tailback, who obviously, you know, has been a great DB for us, and he's kind of a home run hitter, just top end speed. And there's a few other young guys that we've given reps to, you know, and we've usually run it with, you know, 2, maybe even 3 guys sometimes, but we feel like we got at least 3 seniors that can lead us at that position right now.
The kind of success that y'all have had as a program has been amazing. Do you still occasionally find yourself kind of going, wow, or catch yourself thinking about what you have accomplished as a program?
You're more in the moment. You're more in the day. You're more in, you know, where are we at in the process, what has to be done, what things are we doing well, what are the things that, boy, we really need to take a long, hard look here and work the problem. So, no, I think it's more you stay in the moment and you're more about where are we at and where do we need to be.
Might be a loaded question because you've had all this success, you know, through the years. What has kind of been to the key to success for Buford football?
It's been, to me, it's started with people in a lot of different directions. You know, I think when Dexter, Coach Wood, our AD, former head coach, was hired here in 1995, and I came, our school board and our community, our Board of Education, city commissioners, all those folks made a huge commitment to, hey, let's be good at football. And, you know, let's, I think when they hired him and he laid a foundation, and there was a tradition here, certainly, but he started building on that and started growing the program. So it started that way in people. And then Coach Wood was able to start surrounding himself with quality folks, you know, on his staff. And, you know, a lot of us guys that started for him and worked for him through 2004, a lot of those guys are still working with me. So there's been a lot of continuity with people. And then obviously the people side of it is players. We've had great players, a lot of talent. We've developed talent. In our off-season program, we developed it with, our strength and speed work. And we feel like we've done, as good a job preparing our kids for the process as anybody. We focused on what we do. But certainly, Buford's been a great place. It's an attractive place for families that want to be here. And our school's grown. I mean, when I moved here in 1995, we had 300 students in the building, and we're getting close to 1,000 now. I don't know exactly where we're at. I think we're just under it. But, our community and our town's grown. Our facilities have grown. Our population has grown. Certainly the brand of Buford football has grown. People know about it.
Coach, I know your team is used to the media spotlight, but ESPN's coming to town to do at least one game for you this year. Do the kids still get excited about that, or have they kind of gotten used to it?
You know what? I think they do get excited. I mean, they're high school kids. I mean, it's exciting to think that, hey, we might be on national TV or regional TV. I mean, that if you're a high school kid, that's a big deal, and that's a lot of fun. And you get to go ahead, you get to put it out there for everybody to see, and it's a challenge, and it's a lot of responsibility. But certainly, there's a little bit of buzz about that as well.
If you had to list them, what would be the team's strengths coming into this season?
What you think it is and what you hope it be, and what it is. I think we'll start finding out next week when we scrimmage. Certainly, it's 10 starters back on defense. There ought to be some carryover there. There ought to be, from an assignment standpoint, knowing what to do, which when you know what to do, you can play faster, so speed of play. That you start with that. And then you go to line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, because that's what we're about. We have most everybody back on the offense and defensive lines, and we have our tight ends back. I think when you start with that as a coach, that's pretty exciting. Outside of saying, hey, I've got a veteran seasoned quarterback coming back, to say that your line of scrimmage is back, to say that you have 10 starters back on defense. I got my kicker and my snapper back, which are both really, really good players, and special teams. So, there's some good starting points for this group.
Coach, I know you won your 4th straight state championship last year in a crazy game, great finish. You get it out in overtime. Talk about that game and just what it was like to be on the sidelines.
That's what I'll always remember about that game, is we started so fast and played so well. Obviously, we let it, credit Calhoun, they played great. We let it get away from us. We didn't execute a combination of those two things. We end up in a dogfight there at the end. And, we probably made some. In the last 5 minutes of that fourth quarter, we probably made some as good a plays that basically kept us from losing that game as I've seen, from an effort and kids making plays, and then the poise of playing overtime. The way our kids executed and the way they got it done in those two series. I always take away from, because it wasn't perfect. We had our ups and downs that day, but you know what? I saw a bunch of kids grow during that game, and on a big stage in a big moment, be able to fight through it and work the problem and fix what's wrong, and be able to finish the drill and finish the play, and play with some great effort and get it figured out at the end of the game.
And Coach, what did that experience mean for this team as it goes forward?
Every time you have a moment like that, it adds something. It's a notch in your belt. It's a stake in the ground that, hey, I've been there and done that. Obviously, what does that really mean right now? It means nothing. If we're not handling business today, if those 19 periods that we're going to work today aren't right, then you know what? That really doesn't mean anything. So our thing is, the past is special, and we have a great tradition, but that's more of a burden and a responsibility than anything else. The future and what we want to do, we all know, but we can't spend our time thinking and looking at that. It's about, for us, and I say it over and over and over, it's about the process, and right now, and our fundamentals, and
you see, they always have a pretty stacked, I want to say out of conference schedule. They really do. Out of region schedule. You see Carver Columbus on there, the team, the lone team that beat them last year. Lovett's always a very big game as far as the region's concerned. GAC's a pretty good rivalry, but Morgan, you look at this team, and it's loaded again. It always is loaded. Usually you're talking about all the players they've lost and who's going to step up and that kind of thing, but 10 defensive starters coming back and 19 overall, that's nasty off a team that was nasty all last year, right?
Yeah, I think nasty is going to be abiding word for Buford this season. I mean, just because, I mean, that's how they like to play football. It's nasty, just grind you up and spit you out on the line of scrimmage, and they've got the big bodies and the experience to do that this year. They lost some guys there running the ball and their quarterback, but not saying that you can just plug somebody in and go, but with what they've got on the front line, it's going to make it pretty easy to at least have some new guys step in and play some big roles.
And the thing is, I don't see this team getting complacent, because now it's almost gotten to the point, 7 state championships in 10 years and 4 in a row. You don't want to be that team that doesn't make it all the way, right?
Exactly. I mean, they've got a tremendous amount of I don't want to say pressure, but certainly a tremendous amount of understanding of what that program has become, and they want to continue that tradition.
Absolutely, and we'll talk more about Buford football on Saturday on WDUN on the radio station. We will tell you a little bit more about that. This 3-hour special will air this Saturday to get you ready for the 2011 season. We'll take a break. When we come back, we were going to sit down with North Hall head man Bob Christmas, his team coming off a little bit of a rough 2010. See what he says about the new year. That's on the way. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV.
Public notice. A massive $2 million warehouse liquidation is underway at the furniture store. Tons of merchandise has been trucked in from manufacturers' warehouses, and it's all selling at extreme drastic price cuts. Hurry, it's first come, first save, and once it's gone for good at the furniture store in Canton and...
Do you have dinner plans? Come and enjoy casual fine dining right here in downtown Gainesville. Scott's on the Square welcomes you for dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. With only fresh, prime cuts of steak and seafood, Scott's on the Square guarantees you'll become a repeat customer. Ask about catering or scheduling your special event at Scott's on the Square, 110 Main Street. Call to make your dinner plans or make your reservations online at scottsonthesquare.com. Casual fine dining at its best is right here in Gainesville.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
Specializing in shipping, packaging, and maintenance products, Wilhite Packaging wants to make you their next client. The team members at Wilhite realize customer satisfaction and teamwork are the driving force of their business. They've earned the business of over 500 customers with dedication to service and by providing products at fair and competitive prices. You won't be disappointed. They guarantee it. For more information, visit online at wilhite.com.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Ron Wilson. At Wilson Orthodontics, we've helped thousands of people just like you get that perfect, healthy smile they've always dreamed of. And we do that by using state-of-the-art orthodontic technology. Children and adults love our exciting Georgia Bulldogs game room.
Come in and experience the atmosphere.
Our team is the best around, and they treat all our patients like they're part of the family.
They were so nice to me.
Call us today to schedule your free consultation, and I look forward to seeing you here soon.
WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV, your 2011 high school football preview show rolling on. This is hour 3. We've done the first 2 hours each of the last 2 weeks. This will air Saturday afternoon at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. on both the AM and the FM of WDUN on AM 550 and FM 102.9. So 1 to 4 p.m. this Saturday. You can catch this show, all the audio, as well as the last couple of hours as well. So if you missed your team, the preview we did for them, you can tune in for that. All right, let's get back to the preview section. And North Hall coming off a 5-5 season. Head coach Bob Christmas, he said himself, a little bit of disappointment from last year. What to expect for 2011? Well, Coach Christmas was nice enough to be in studio with us. I got to sit down and talk with him. Coach, thank you so much for coming in today. Getting ready to start the 2011 season. Do you still kind of get the butterflies and stuff? You've been doing this a while, but do you still kind of get it right before the season gets started?
Well, this is actually year 37 for me.
Really?
And I don't know that I get the butterflies anymore. I am excited about every season that comes. This bunch we got this year has got me particularly excited just because they're so fun to coach. Their work ethic is great. They desire to get better each day, so it's been kind of fun for me this year.
That's very good. And you guys, of course, coming off 5-5 year last year. We got to call your games on FM, so I got to to see and hear a little bit of that. I'll be honest, they were kind of fun games to call on radio because there's a lot of touchdowns, and they were close games. What I noticed was your guys really seemed to they progressed as the season went along. It just didn't really show up in the win column necessarily. Is that kind of how you saw them? You guys played in a lot of close games last year.
Yeah, we actually lost 4 games by a touchdown or less, and I felt like we did make some improvement as the year went on. You know, that last game, Stevens County, we scored with 1:38 left, and to take the lead and let them hit us with a long pass and then drive down there and score to beat us with just a few seconds left. So, you know, that seemed to characterize a lot of the way our season went. You know, that's disappointing for us because we've been used to the previous 8 years. You know, we won 79 games, so we were averaging right at 10 games a season the previous 8 years. So that was hard for us to take in our community, our coaching staff, our players. Kind of left a little bad taste in all of our mouths.
You look at 2011 for North Hall. You know, people, I guess, with a couple of the skill positions you have to replace. You got a new quarterback going to be coming in, new wideouts coming in. But for North Hall, it's always kind of started with the lines, hadn't it? Offensive, defensive lines, and you mentioned you were young last year, but you got a lot of you have guys coming back, and you got a lot of size coming back on both lines, right?
Yeah. What I thought was our real weakness last year was us up front. I think is actually going to be the strength of this football team, which is kind of more in line, like you said, with North Hall football teams. Both on the offensive and defensive line, we're 2 and 3 deep with kids that can play. And, you know, last year we were piecemealing it together. We moved Cam Howell from a fullback to a guard in the summer, moved Carson Coker from a tight end to a center in the summer. And then we were replacing all of our line. So we were just trying to get something together there, but we had a bunch of young linemen. And these kids have really matured. And some of the older kids that, you know, they're just those kids that it takes them to their senior year to start, but they're great players by the time they get to their senior year if they hang in there. And they've really matured, and we got great competition out there, and I'm sensing a really, really good chemistry with our football team. And, of course, when you got a line like that, and then you got an Amani Cross running behind them, which, incidentally, I think you're going to see a whole new level from Amani. You know,
he's a special player, isn't he?
You know, he's a special player, and he came off that Achilles rupture and didn't participate in spring ball with us, so he didn't learn our offense there or defense. Wasn't able to participate in our summer program, so he wasn't in shape when he came back and didn't have the benefit of learning. And he comes in the 5th ball game, the first game back, he rushes for 198 yards, you know. And, you know, we thought he was pretty good, but now going through spring ball and going through our summer program and really getting in shape, we've seen a whole another level of play out of Amani.
Yeah, he's a special kid, and he's a strong kid. I just watched him run last year. Folks know what he can do offensively. Is he going to play defense this year? Because he was as hard a hitter as you guys had last season. You know, playing the linebacking position. I mean, he was outstanding.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to play defense. You know, he came in the 5th game and ended up, I think, our second leading tackler.
Really?
In 5 games. So right behind Mac Van Gorder. So, yeah, he's going to play that way. You know, the way we kind of do it is we play our key players on both sides of the ball. But, like, if we got 2 inside linebackers, we like to roll 3 of them in there. So they'll play. They may play 2 series and sit out a series, and we feel like we at least got 3 inside kids that can play, probably more than that. And and the same thing with halfback. You know, we actually got Kevin Christmas, my youngest son, who's a junior, will be backing Imani up. Kevin had a great spring. We feel like Kevin can come in there and give us some quality reps and give Amani a blow there also. So, but, yeah, Amani's going to be on the field.
Yeah, he's definitely going to be on the field, and for good reason. You'll have a new quarterback. Candler Coker's moved on. Offensive line, though, you mentioned the strength of that, being able to have a guy like Amani Cross in the backfield. So whoever ends up winning the quarterback, and I guess it's still up for grabs, that should make it a little bit easier for that person to come in and be able to run the offense, right?
Yeah, and, you know, we have never built our offense around a quarterback. Right. Now, if you got a really good quarterback, we can accentuate some things. I felt like Candler would have been a really good quarterback this year in our offense. But I tell you, the kids that we got right now, Bradley Brown and Andrew Smith, have really impressed us as a coaching staff. Got some different qualities about them. Bradley's a little bit bigger kid, probably 6'1", 185, 190 pounds. It's physical kid. He actually plays outside linebacker for us also.
Oh, yeah?
Throws the ball pretty well. Andrew's a smaller kid, but got explosive speed and is really starting to throw the ball well. Both of them can operate our offense with good deception, which has kind of been our trademark. And so we're going to pound the ball at people and play action them. And kind of what we've done the previous 8 or 9 years leading up to last year, we tried to spread it out a little more last year and open it up a little more. But the ironic thing is in 2007, we led the whole state of Georgia in offense, scoring offense.
I remember that.
And we did it running the football without any D1 players. Didn't get a single D1 offer out of those kids. And so you're probably going to see more of that style out of us.
Yeah, and one more thing quickly about the schedule. I think you and I talked before last year's season. The first 3 games, just said, you try to survive those 3 games, and then you move on from there. It's kind of the same thing at Jefferson, at St. Pius, and then at Gainesville. Those are the first 3 games. I mean, you're just jumping right into it, aren't you?
Yeah, really tough. If you ever want to play the lottery, don't get me to pick your numbers. We picked this schedule out of a hat, and this would be 4 out of the last 6 years. We have opened up with a bye week.
Really?
So, we got our bye first game, and then we got to jump right in without a game under our belt. We got to jump in and play Jefferson, St. Pius, and Gainesville, and all 3 away.
Wow.
So, tough. 3 well-coached teams, 3 very talented teams. And but we got to get the job done.
Yeah, and I'm sure you will. I appreciate your time, Coach, and good luck in 2011 over at North Hall.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, looking at the schedule, and Morgan, it really is, just like last year, talking with Coach about this, I mean, it's really true. You kind of see what you could do with the first 3 games of the season. Not that North Hall can't win those, but, I mean, that's a nice little battle going to Jefferson, to St. Pius, and then to Gainesville as well.
You got to love opening with 3 road games.
Yeah.
That's,
and 3 tough road games, too.
Yeah. Jefferson is going to be better than they were last year, I think. Obviously, St. Pius, anybody who went to see the scrimmage with Gainesville last Friday knows that Pius is pretty good. Mm-hmm. And Gainesville, just because it is that huge rivalry game, I mean, even if Gainesville was incredibly down, which you're not supposed to be, this is going to be another just slobber knocker. So
yeah, did it kind of seem to you last year that the offense for North Hall didn't really fit what they normally did? You know what I'm saying? It just kind of seemed that way.
Yeah, it was probably a bit more. I don't want to say that they threw the ball a lot, but it was a bit more big play than what they're used to. Not that they can't have big plays, but that offense is based so much more on just grinding on people. And there were so many times where it seemed like their defense was on the field a lot because they weren't just holding the ball and grinding and grinding and grinding. And I think a lot of that had to do with youth and inexperience at the lines, and kind of sounded like a broken record because a lot of teams seem like they're going to have a lot more depth on the line of scrimmage, but North Hall is one of those teams, and I think that's going to really help them this season.
I think so too, and it was. I'm being honest when I said it with the coach that it's they were fun games to call. It was a lot of touchdown calls going both ways. The offense did what it had to do. The defense did give up some touchdowns, but I think you're right about the offensive line and the defensive line being very good. Amani Cross running behind that offensive line, if it's good in seasons, it could be a big year for Amani Cross.
Yeah, he's just a flat out stud. I mean, a kid that when he's healthy, and that's the other thing. I mean, he was only healthy about half the season last year, so if he's healthy from the get go, and that line can block for him, I mean, he's going to have a lot of yards.
He breaks off 70 or 80-yard runs like nobody's business. All of a sudden, he's gone.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a break. Coming back, Johnson fans, West Hall fans, tune in because we're going to have your coaches sit down and discuss the upcoming season with them as well. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. We'll be right back.
selling notice. A massive $2 million warehouse liquidation is underway at the furniture store. Tons of merchandise has been trucked in from manufacturers' warehouses, and it's all selling at extreme drastic price cuts. Hurry, it's first come, first save, and once it's gone for good at the furniture store in Canton and
Hi folks, Butch Miller from Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville, and why you should get your next new car at Milton Martin Honda. First, a fantastic selection. We bought extra cars, so now we have the largest inventory in the area. Next, an incredibly low price. Plus, we'll give you more for your trade. Third, we'll treat you the way you like to be treated. Those three things combined, we call the Milton Martin Honda Advantage. So remember folks, if you think you can get a better deal on a better car at Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville, you got that right.
I will not march blindly into the fluorescent light of Monday morning to a job I do not love. I will not go with the flow. I am not a carbon copy. I will visit this website before tomorrow because I refuse to work for the weekend, even if everyone is working for the weekend. Today, I will find a job that I love. Today, I will find my career happiness.
Do you have dinner plans? Come and enjoy casual fine dining right here in downtown Gainesville. Scott's on the Square welcomes you for dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. With only fresh, prime cuts of steak and seafood, Scott's on the Square guarantees you'll become a repeat customer. Ask about catering or scheduling your special event at Scott's on the Square, 110 Main Street. Call to make your dinner plans or make your reservations online at scottsonthesquare.com. Casual fine dining at its best is right here in Gainesville.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
Specializing in shipping, packaging, and maintenance products, Wilhite Packaging wants to make you their next client. The team members at Wilhite realize customer satisfaction and teamwork are the driving force of their business. They've earned the business of over 500 customers with dedication to service and by providing products at fair and competitive prices. You won't be disappointed. They guarantee it. For more information, visit online at wilhite.com.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Ron Wilson. At Wilson Orthodontics, we've helped thousands of people just like you get that perfect, healthy smile they've always dreamed of. And we do that by using state-of-the-art orthodontic technology. Children and adults love our exciting Georgia Bulldogs game room.
Come in and experience the atmosphere.
Our team is the best around, and they treat all our patients like they're part of the family.
They were so nice to me.
Call us today to schedule your free consultation, and I look forward to seeing you here soon.
Public notice. A massive $2 million warehouse liquidation is underway at the furniture store. Tons of merchandise has been trucked in from manufacturers' warehouses, and it's all selling at extreme drastic price cuts. Hurry, it's first come, first save, and once it's gone for good at the furniture store in Canton and
All right, WDUN Sports Talk rolling on. This is your third hour of your 3-hour 2011 high school football preview. All right, we've talked with Jess Simpson of Buford and also Bob Christmas of North Hall. Let's move on. Let's move a little bit south of the North Hall area down to Oakwood. Yes, we'll visit with the two coaches down there. Coming up, West Hall head coach Mike Newton. Right now, though, let's sit down with Paul Friel. His team 2-8 last year. The Johnson Knights. Let's see what he expects for 2011. Coach, this year's team a little bit different from previous teams at Johnson. What are your expectations heading into the 2011 season?
Well, last year we were extremely young. Even for us, we only had a few returning seniors, a handful, and so a lot of these guys got a lot of playing experience young, and they're coming back with experience. So I definitely think it'll be a step forward from last year, and I think they realize it. So they've been working really hard, and they have a great work ethic so far.
Coach, what would you say, moving forward, I know it's early, but what would you say are going to be the strengths of this team this year?
We get a returning running back that rushed for over 1,200 yards, and the experienced offensive line coming back, so that would probably be the strength. And those same guys are playing on defense, rotating on defense. So our fronts are pretty solid. I would say that's our strength.
Cedric Harris is one of those special kinds of backs. He had 1,200 yards last season. What kind of sets him apart on the field?
Number one, he works really hard. Number two, he learns. He's a quick learner because, again, last year was his first year playing running back. Also, he has a great mentality as far as it's about we, it's not me. So he understands what everybody's doing and what their roles are and what their assignments are. So it helps him to make great decisions while he's running.
I know obviously the past 3 years, one of the most exciting games, kind of the one that especially us outsiders look forward to every year is the Battle of Oakwood. What has made that game such a just outstanding competition between you and West Hall?
Well, number one, both schools are very similar, and and with the tough region that we're in, we're both fighting uphill battles, and when we get to face each other, we know it's kind of a level playing field, and also they're right down the road, so the kids get really excited. You don't really need a big speech for that game. That's bragging rights, and they get really excited about it.
Teams are always affected by injuries, Coach, but you guys affected a little bit more in the recent past. How has that kind of affected you, and does this year's team have the ability to kind of overcome injuries like that?
I would say 2 years ago was our worst injury situation. But when you only have a few seniors and juniors on the team, then all of a sudden, a couple of people get hurt. On previous teams I've had in other schools, you have 2 or 3 good backups plus a guy that only plays defense that could play offense if you need him, that could step in and do a great job. But with us, it's got to be a young guy, a freshman coming in or a sophomore. So injuries do hurt a little bit more. This year I feel like we do have, when we say a second defense or a second offense, those guys are pretty legitimate. Are they ready to be starters full time yet? Not quite, but they're not too far off. Kind of like I think we talked about the West Georgia camp. When I went with the second group against the other team starters and some pretty good schools and big schools, I wouldn't say they looked great, but they held their own. So that gave me optimism on having depth. If somebody does go down, we can still be okay.
Coach, I know not to make light of a certain situation, but kind of a hot topic this summer has been the heat. It's just been ridiculously hot. There's been some restrictions put in place by Hall County schools, Gainesville City schools. How has that affected y'all? How has the heat in general affected the way y'all have gone about practice?
It's very hot, and the fact with all the incidents we've had in the state and neighboring states and around the country, but mostly in the South, it scares you to death as a coach. And you try to do everything you can. Like we go our heaviest stuff in the morning, and as the day goes on, by our second practice is over by 1, but even by then we've already taken the shoulder pads off and just gone helmets by the last half of the day, really.
And everybody always excited going into the season. What kind of excites you about this coming year, and what kind of excites your players as well as we enter the 2011 season?
Well, again, it's essentially all but about 4 or 5 kids, the same team as last year. So the fact that they never gave up last year and gave themselves a shot to play in the playing game, and they, still had a shot at the playoffs, they still have that same mentality, but they're a year older and a year more experienced, and they're excited. They're excited to come back because they know they have a shot at competing. So they're ready to get out there and make a run for it. And our goal is to make the playoffs, which it's eluded us for a while now, but that is absolutely.
All right, you look at the schedule for the Johnson Knights, and pretty good test early on, Morgan, against Jackson County, who should be a pretty improved team this year, right?
Yeah, Jackson County is going to be better. They, 2 straight 4-win seasons, which for them, their program, that's pretty big. So they're continuing to build on that, and like you said, should be a pretty decent early season test rolling into that East Hall game, especially.
Yeah, East Hall should be a pretty good test as well. You see Chestatee there starting October 7th, the 14th, the 21st. Those are 3 games that Johnson can definitely make some hay. I live for the Battle of Oakwood. That is my favorite, probably my favorite football game in this area. I love West Hall Johnson. I mean, it's always such a fun game.
No, the last 3 years has been like one of the most crazy, insane, Pac-10-esque type of contests you could ever imagine. Yeah, just back and forth, high scoring. Last guy with the ball wins the game. So. Yeah, it hasn't always been like that. You go back and do some research. There's been some really lopsided games, but not lately.
Yeah, I know that they were 2-8 last year. So saying this, people might be like, "What?" But they didn't lose a lot off last year's team, which I think experience. There's something to be said for experience. We keep talking about offensive lines and defensive lines. That's kind of the case with Johnson too.
Absolutely. They again another team that should be able to improve at the line of scrimmage. I think as you said. There's always going to be people saying, well, they're only 2-8 last year. Yeah, they got experience, but does that necessarily mean anything? I think in this case it does, because a lot of those games were pretty close last year that they just couldn't hold at the end. And, you get another year of experience, create a little bit more depth, especially. That will start to turn around this year. And, I mean, I know not everybody can, we sit here and say, okay, well, this team's going to be better, and not every team's going to win every game. But I think mostly what coaches are looking for is just, be competitive for an entire game and give the team a chance to win.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of what you want to do. Coming off a 2-8 year, it's been 6 years since they've had a winning record. So I don't know if there's a culture of losing down there, but a culture of not knowing how to finish off games, maybe they can kind of turn that around.
It takes a big win to turn that psychologically.
Absolutely. Thanks to Coach Friel for talking with us. West Hall fans, you're up next. Head coach Mike Newton will talk with him coming up after this break. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV.
Public notice. A massive $2 million warehouse liquidation is underway at the furniture store. Tons of merchandise has been trucked in from manufacturers' warehouses, and it's all selling at extreme drastic price cuts. Hurry, it's first come, first save, and once it's gone for good at the furniture store in Canton and...
Do you have dinner plans? Come and enjoy casual fine dining right here in downtown Gainesville. Scott's on the Square welcomes you for dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. With only fresh, prime cuts of steak and seafood, Scott's on the Square guarantees you'll become a repeat customer. Ask about catering or scheduling your special event at Scott's on the Square, 110 Main Street. Call to make your dinner plans or make your reservations online at scottsonthesquare.com. Casual fine dining at its best is right here in Gainesville.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
Specializing in shipping, packaging, and maintenance products, Wilhite Packaging wants to make you their next client. The team members at Wilhite realize customer satisfaction and teamwork are the driving force of their business. They've earned the business of over 500 customers with dedication to service and by providing products at fair and competitive prices. You won't be disappointed. They guarantee it. For more information, visit online at wilhite.com.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Ron Wilson. At Wilson Orthodontics, we've helped thousands of people just like you get that perfect, healthy smile they've always dreamed of. And we do that by using state-of-the-art orthodontic technology. Children and adults love our exciting Georgia Bulldogs game room.
Come in and experience the atmosphere.
Our team is the best around, and they treat all our patients like they're part of the family.
They were so nice to me.
Call us today to schedule your free consultation, and I look forward to seeing you here soon.
WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. All right, we have one final preview here in our third hour of 3 hours of your 2011 high school football preview. Once again, coming up this Saturday on AM 550 and FM 102.9 on WDUN, both stations, starting at 1 p.m. 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., all 3 of the hours of the audio, obviously, are going to be over on radio. So if you missed any part of this show or any parts of the first couple, you can tune in there and you can hear about those. All right, let's get to our final preview. West Hall head coach Mike Newton. Morgan Lee able to go down and somehow find his office down there in Oakwood and talk with Coach Newton about what to expect this coming season.
Well, Coach, last season I know obviously you took some steps forward. Felt like, just from the outside looking in, it seems like y'all kind of made some progress as a team. Do you feel like you can kind of take some more steps forward this coming season?
Yeah, I really do. We just got back from camp from Toccoa, and it's the first time we've gone to camp like that. And I tell you, the kids came back, and we really had a great camp. Got a lot of football stuff done. Got a lot of bonding stuff done together, and the kids are really excited about this season. And we're more as a team than anything else. There's not much individuals going on out there at all. It's a team idea.
Well, talk a little about, this team. Obviously been some changes in personnel, but kind of talk about what you've seen that might set it apart a little bit from some of your other teams.
Well, the number one thing, they play as a team, and they work hard, and they don't complain. And we have a good nucleus of kids that's been with us for a while through the 8th grade program in middle school. So the unity of this group is a lot better than it has been in the past. In the last couple of years, we've always had these kids that came out and they played football this was their first time, and so they really weren't a unit. So this team right here is more of a unit.
Football, at every level, such a game built on line of scrimmage. It seems like this year, y'all got some depth and some experience and some size on the line of scrimmage. Kind of talk about that group.
Yeah, we do. It's exciting to see some size here for a while. In the past, we haven't had much size. We do have pretty good size where we got some depth at the offensive and defensive line, but they're inexperienced. A lot of those kids that we're counting on haven't played a varsity high school football game, but they've come a long way. They've been working hard all summer. We got our tackles are at least 6'1", 6'2", about 300 pounds, and so we're hoping that we can control the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively.
Last year, obviously, your quarterback, Chandler Newton, your son, got some time, showed, some pretty impressive, ability in that short amount of time. Talk about what you've seen from his progression this summer.
Well, he broke his hand early on through baseball, so he was out a lot of stuff, in the beginning of the summer, but he worked on his speed and agility and his leadership. A quarterback has got to be the guy that's going to lead the team, and he's also got to be the guy that's going to get down and dirty with the offense and defense and stuff and get involved and work just as hard as they are. He don't have to be the fastest or the strongest, but the players got to see that he's going to work just like they are, and I think that's what he does, and that's what he brings to the team.
Obviously, the program has been, you've been working and building this thing for a number of years. Kind of talk about the state of the program right now and where you feel like y'all are.
Well, I'm going into my 5th year. We've had, before I got this job, we had 4 head coaches in 4 years. There's a lot of transition. Starting back all the way to the middle school program, that's improved. We went 3-3 last year, the first winning season they've had, or that many wins in 12 years. The program is going steady. I think there's continuity with the head coach and then our assistant coaches and our program, our weight room. So I like the way it's going. The wins and losses, I wish, everybody wishes they get better. But we play in a tough region. Our demographics hurt us a little bit there, but I like the direction the program's going. It's solid. We're doing the right things in our program, offensively, defensively, and special teams wise, and trying to build character with our program. So I feel like it's going in the right direction still.
And then, finally, you mentioned the region. What is it that makes this region so tough outside of just, some of the established names, that you play against? What is it that makes this region so tough?
Well, number one, there's good coaching in this region. This region has very good coaches. They do a good job. They make sure their kids are ready for Friday night. And then the next thing is you got good talent in this area. I mean, you just look at the quarterback position the last couple of years. Then you look at the linebacker positions the last couple of years. The kids have gone to Tennessee and play. And, the quarterback position especially. One's at Alabama right now. One's at South Carolina right now. So there's good talent and good coaching. And when you have that, it makes it really tough. And, if you got good players and, a lot of times they're going to take control and have a.
All right, there you go. Your 2011 West Hall Spartans schedule, and you see right out of the gate at East Hall. That should be, I would think, a pretty competitive game, right, Morgan?
Yeah, I talked to Coach Newton on the way out of that interview if he had gone and seen any scrimmages, and he said he went to watch East Hall and Chestatee, his first 2 teams he's going to be playing.
Yeah,
and said that both teams looked really good.
Yeah, I think they should be. I think East Hall is going to be a pretty improved team. I mean, they were kind of improved the first part of last season as well. And, of course, you got the Johnson game on October 7th, which is just fantastic. If you have a chance to go to a Battle of Oakwood, you should definitely do it.
They call it the Battle for the Paddle now. Didn't we start something like that?
Oh,
with,
yeah.
Cotton Eye Joe's
that was started last year. The boys at Cotton Eye Joe's did that. I wonder if they're going to bring a paddle again.
I got a feeling they are.
Yes. That'll add even more to the rivalry.
Yep.
All right. You look at what they lost off last year's team, and you see Shunquest Stevens, and my first thought was, oh, man, Shunquest Stevens is such a good quarterback. But the thing is, he did play some at quarterback, but you got the coach's son, something you talked with Mike Newton about, who seems to have a pretty good arm himself.
Yeah, absolutely. And he got a chance to play last year a pretty good bit, threw for over 1,000 yards. I don't remember how many touchdowns, but he certainly showed a lot of potential. And I know for a lot of people, potential's I once heard someone say potential is basically a French word for ain't done nothing yet, but he actually showed he could do some stuff last year, and he's got plenty of chance to show that he can do even more this year.
Yep. So their season starts August 26th at East Hall, and then at Chestatee, as Morgan said, on September 2nd. All right, that's going to do it. Come back. We will wrap things up and let you know we're going to be all over the place during high school football season, including this Saturday. We'll tell you more after this. WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV.
Public notice. A massive $2 million warehouse liquidation is underway at the furniture store. Tons of merchandise has been trucked in from manufacturers' warehouses, and it's all selling at extreme drastic price cuts. Hurry, it's first come, first save, and once it's gone for good at the furniture store in Canton and...
Do you have dinner plans? Come and enjoy casual fine dining right here in downtown Gainesville. Scott's on the Square welcomes you for dinner Tuesday through Saturday night. With only fresh, prime cuts of steak and seafood, Scott's on the Square guarantees you'll become a repeat customer. Ask about catering or scheduling your special event at Scott's on the Square, 110 Main Street. Call to make your dinner plans or make your reservations online at scottsonthesquare.com. Casual fine dining at its best is right here in Gainesville.
At the offices of Dr. Norman Peets, DDS on Green Street in Gainesville, patients have all their general dentistry needs explained. Ask about sedation dentistry. Dr. Peets' team of professionals puts you at ease. Dedicated, experienced, professional. He's Gainesville's family dentist. Dr. Norman Peets, 615 Green Street in Gainesville.
Specializing in shipping, packaging, and maintenance products, Wilhite Packaging wants to make you their next client. The team members at Wilhite realize customer satisfaction and teamwork are the driving force of their business. They've earned the business of over 500 customers with dedication to service and by providing products at fair and competitive prices. You won't be disappointed. They guarantee it. For more information, visit online at wilhite.com.
Hey there, I'm Dr. Ron Wilson. At Wilson Orthodontics, we've helped thousands of people just like you get that perfect, healthy smile they've always dreamed of. And we do that by using state-of-the-art orthodontic technology. Children and adults love our exciting Georgia Bulldogs game room.
Come in and experience the atmosphere.
Our team is the best around, and they treat all our patients like they're part of the family.
They were so nice to me.
Call us today to schedule your free consultation, and I look forward to seeing you here soon.
All right, WDUN Sports Talk on WDUN TV. We are wrapping it up. This is hour 3 of our 3-hour 2011 high school football preview. All right, we're going to be all over the place, Morgan. Are you ready to do all this stuff?
I don't know that I'm ready, but it's happening. So
it's going to happen anyway. This boy is all about typing on the keyboard, but he's going to become a radio star, a sensation. All right, so coming up this Saturday on AM 550 and FM 102.9 on WDUN on both stations from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. the audio of this show and the first couple as well. So any of you folks that we were able to interview your coaches, you can list those interviews, and we're going to break things down a little bit more as well. Starting next week, we are proud to introduce High School Sports Unlimited. We will be bringing that to you all season long, so you can see previews of the games coming up. We will kind of wrap up the games for the week before, adding some whatever stats that Morgan actually draws out of these games, which should be plenty. We're going to have coaches' interviews throughout the course of the season as well. So it's going to be a very informative show. It's going to be on video on WDUN TV, on accessnorthga.com, and also on 1240 ESPN Radio. As far as the time and the day, we'll let you know about that. You can tune to the sports to the little sports page as well. But speaking of the sports page, you're working hard. Previews coming out this week. What can folks expect with the previews?
The Access North Georgia's high school, 2011 high school football preview will be up on the website.
Yes,
Friday. It is in its final stages right now.
Do you see the? This is we were saying this before for people that do taxes. This is like tax day. Build up to April 15th or whatever. This is his tax day.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to take my blood pressure right now versus the other 51 weeks of the year, I think you'd notice a marked difference.
That's right.
But yeah, it's going to be up on the website starting Friday. 30 teams previewed. Schedules, a radio schedule, all the players, all the coaches, basically everything you want to know about the upcoming season. A lot more in depth than we could ever hope to get on here, just because we don't have all day.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there you go. So that's going to be coming up Friday. And like you said, you can check out the radio schedule. We will not be doing a game this weekend. I know Buford's going to be in action, and there's actually five North Georgia teams that are going to be in action this coming weekend. But next Friday is the first, what is that, 26th, I think?
Yes, the 26th.
August 26th. So that's when we will fire things up as far as radio is concerned, doing some play-by-play. West Hall at East Hall is going to be one of our first games. The week after that, I know North Hall at Jefferson will be on the air as well. So there you go. So as far as radio is concerned, play-by-play, live action, that'll be coming up next Friday, a week from this Friday, the 26th. So that'll do it. Appreciate your time, man.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for everything.
It's been fun, yeah.
It's been a lot of legwork for Morgan putting up this 3 hours. There's been a lot of legwork for this man over here, Scott McIntyre. Yes, kick your feet up, sir.
Yeah,
Scott McIntyre is the spine of this entire thing. So if you like it, then you can thank Scott. If you don't like it, well, then go watch something else. That's perfectly fine. All right, once again, on WDUN, AM 550 and FM 102.9, this Saturday, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., the 3-hour special for the 2011 high school football season. And then starting next week, 1240 ESPN Radio, and here on AccessNorthGA.com, you can check out High School Sports Unlimited as well. We're going to be here all football season long. Thank you for being with us, and we will talk to you on Saturday. See ya.